right, to start off, we just need our yarn, crochet hook, and also have your stitch marker ready. And to start off, I'm going to head and start with a slip knot. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and chain 2. Now we're going to go ahead and work 8 single crochet into the first chain that was made, which is the second chain from the hook. I'm going to go ahead and work my first single crochet, and now I'm going to go ahead and take my stitch marker and I'm going to go ahead and mark that first stitch. All right, and then from here it's going to go ahead and work 7 more single crochet. And while I'm working these 8 single crochet, I'm also going to work over this tail end as well. And I like to work over this tail end just so if I need it to tighten up the opening, I can go ahead and do that. All right, so I just completed the first round and I have 8 single crochet for that first round. Now going on to round 2. This round is going to be a round of increases. And what that means is we're going to work 2 single crochet into each stitch around. So now that I have my stitch marker here, this lets me know that this was my first stitch of the round. So I'm going to go ahead and place a single crochet into that stitch that is marked by the stitch marker. I'm going to go ahead and remove that stitch marker and mark this single crochet with the stitch marker. And then I'm going to work 1 more single crochet into that same exact stitch. So that is the single crochet increase. And then I'm going to go ahead and work 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the stitch after that. And I'm just going to repeat this all the way around. Single crochet increase into each stitch around. All right, so I just completed round 2, and at the end of round 2, there should be a total of 16 single crochet. Now moving on to round 3. All round 3 is working 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So that first single crochet is going to go into that same stitch as the stitch marker. Remove that stitch marker and place that into this single crochet. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue working 1 single crochet into each stitch around. And then at the end of round 3, there will be 16 single crochet for round 3. All right, so I just completed round 3 and I have 16 single crochet. Now moving on to round 4. Round 4 is going to be a repeat of round 3, working 1 single crochet into each stitch, and then the same as round 5, that will also be 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So I'm going to go ahead and work rounds 4 and 5 since they're all the same. And I'm just going to be working those single crochets all the way around. So for rounds 4 and for round 5, you're going to end with 16 single crochet for each of those rounds. And I'm just going to continue this, and I will meet you guys at the end of round 5. All right, I just completed round 5. I have a total of 16 single crochet from round 5. Now we're going to go ahead and work on round 6. Round 6 is going to be the single crochet decrease round, and we're going to work that into the back loop only. All right, so I have that stitch marker here that marked that first stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and work a single crochet decrease, but I'm going to only go into that back loop of that first stitch and pulling up a loop, and then insert my hook into that next stitch, but back loop only, pulling up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook, and that is the first single crochet decrease. I'm going to go ahead and remove this stitch marker. I'm going to mark that first single crochet decrease, and I'm also going to grab another stitch marker, and I'm going to mark this front loop right here, and this is the front loop that was pushed forward when I worked in the back loop only. So this is the front loop of the first stitch from round 5. Okay, and I'm just marking that so it's easier for me to see that stitch. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and work another decrease into that back loop only. All right, and this is going to be repeated all the way around. So we're going to do decreases all the way around, and there will be a total of 8 single crochet decrease for round 6, working in the back loop only. All right, so I just completed my last single crochet decrease for round 6. I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn. I'm going to leave just enough so I can close off the opening and weave in the ends. I can go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and remove this stitch marker that was marking the single crochet decrease. All right, and we're not going to worry about closing off right now. We're going to wait till the end. Now we're going to move on to working on the tentacles, and this is going to be worked into the front loops only, and these are the front loops from round 5. Okay, so I have my stitch marker here that marked that first front loop only. I'm going to take my hook and I'm just going to pop that right through that front loop. Now I'm going to grab my yarn, just like that, and I'm going to pull that through. I'm not going to worry about knotting anything yet because I'm actually going to knot this to the tail end at the end of this round. But I'm going to leave it just long enough so it can be knotted and weaved in. All right, so that's all I did. Was just pull the yarn through. So now I'm going to go ahead and work my first bobble stitch, but this bobble stitch is going to be worked into the next front loop only. Okay, so it's not going to be in the same stitch as where I pull this yarn through. All right, so I'm going to work that bobble stitch. So I'm just going to yarn over, insert my hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert my hook into that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert my hook into that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then I'm going to repeat that one more time. And now I have a total of 5 loops on my hook. And once I have those 5 loops on my hook, I'm going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 5 loops on my hook. And this loop right here is going to stretch up, so you can just pull on that tail end to bring it back down. All right, so that completes the first bobble, which is the first tentacle. Then into the next stitch right here is going to work a slip stitch. And that's going to help that bobble stitch to puff out. Now working into the next stitch, which is that front loop, I'm going to work another bobble stitch. Okay, so all we're doing is just yarning over and starting that hook into that stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and repeating that one more time until we have that total of 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops on the hook. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch into that next stitch. And pretty much this is just repeated all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and do another bobble stitch, and after this bobble, work another slip stitch. And I'm going to meet you guys at the end when I get to that last bobble stitch, and then I'll show you how I connect that last slip stitch of the round. Alright, so I am just completing my last bobble stitch of the round. Alright, so I have a total of 8 bobbles. And now I'm going to work a slip stitch. I'm going to work that slip stitch into that same stitch where we attached the yarn, and that's where I have my stitch marker placed. So I'm going to work that slip stitch right in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn, but leaving just enough tail end just to be able to knot and weave in the end. I'm going to go ahead and remove the stitch marker. And then what I like to do, I'm going to like pull on this just a little bit to tighten it up. What I like to do is insert my hook into that same stitch where I did that slip stitch at from the bottom up. And I'm going to pull this yarn end through. So it's on the same side as that first tail end. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and knot these together, and that just helps secure it so it doesn't come undone. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and add the eyes. If you are doing safety eyes, now is the time to add them. If you're going to embroider eyes or add glue on felt eyes, then you can do that after stuffing the Octo. But if you are doing safety eyes, they will need to be added now before stuffing the Octo. And where I like to add the eyes is between rows 3 and 4. So remember this bottom row right above the bobble is round 5. We have round 4, and here's round 3. So it's going to be in this space right here between 3 and 4. And then I usually will go over about 2 stitches and then add the other eye. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and secure that. The backing for the safety eye. All right, so after adding my safety eyes, I am gonna go ahead and stuff the Octo with the Polyfil. And you can just stuff the Octo to your liking. So it's pretty much just preference on how much polyfill you want to add into your Octo. All right. So I have my Octo stuffed. Now this is the tail end from doing the decrease round. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a tapestry needle. And I'm going to go ahead and close this opening. And how I like to close the opening is weaving the yarn in and out through the front loop only of these single crochet decrease stitches. So front loop only, and then I'm going to go back through this way. So I'm just weaving this in and out all the way around. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pull gently on this because this yarn can break kind of easily if you do pull too firmly. All right, so I have that closed off, and then what I like to do is just do this and knot it, and that will help secure that opening. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and weave the end in. I usually go back and forth a few times so you can really secure it. I can go ahead and do that knot again just so that opening doesn't open. And all right, I think that's good. And I'm just gonna pull this one through up here. And then these two ends, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to weave all these in. All right, and let's pull through here. And then these tail ends, I'm going to cut these off. I like to pull up on them before I cut. There we go. All right, so this completes the pattern for the Octo Plush Mini. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you enjoy your new little mini Octo. Oh, he's just so adorable. Love it.